Like I said, my plan is to go into this neighborhood over here. And somewhere in that area is where we'll actually go clear out and then start blasting the horn. And we're going over the zombie body slowly, not because we're worried about our suspension or anything. They don't hurt your suspension when they're dead. But I'm rather worried about catching air and then that ending badly for us. Oh, we got a garden gnome. That has to come with us. Non-negotiable. Was it the third house here? Or was it with this one here? One of these houses over here is where our last run ended. No, it wasn't this house here because the garage is on the yeah, I think it's this house because the garage is on this side, not this side. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that house there that we died in. I thought it was this one over here, but the garage is on the wrong side. That was the last time I attempted this challenge, as we died in that house. So I saw there was one zombie here, and all the other ones are on the other side of the fence. That is a lot of zombies. You missed my comment, like, she came over here, I was like, you just want to see yourself in camera, and then she laughed, and, like, she leaned in the camera more. Alright, I think this is a road that we're going to have a lot to work to do on it. But I believe this is the last major place we'll have zombies in Riverside. Like, well, that north end is still clear, but I don't imagine there's going to be much there compared to here. We are staying in that fight too long. Because you saw they started to make like a horizontal line as opposed to queuing up on me. That gets super dangerous. Kept getting faked out thinking that zombie was dead and it wasn't. I'm used to the lead pipe, which had a lot more often we would one-shot for just a random metal bar. Metal bar's still not bad though. It's just damage a little less consistent. A little spikier. That's probably a lead bar right there. Hey, Cog3D. It's going real well. We're up to 20 katanas we found so far. We're basically on the last street of Riverside, and we've been driving around honking our horn, drawing everything out, seeing less and less zombies in the area, so still feeling pretty good that we're going to be able to actually declare this place cleared before end of night. That said, this street is going to have a pretty decent amount of zombies. Where was the one with the metal bar? I guess it doesn't matter. I'm going to have to deal with it. Yep, keep in mind, metal bars do, or not metal bars, katanas do not show up until you've survived for 2 months, or I should say 2 months after the zombie plague starts. So if you start a 6 months later run and that kind of stuff, they are just available at the beginning. But even then, they are very rare. To take into consideration, I have killed almost 39,000 zombies. That's saying find a katana once every 2,000-ish kills after you pass that 2-month mark. I lost track of where that lead pipe or metal bar or whatever it was we saw went down. I think it was up there, but we flipped through it too fast. I mean, it's not really that big a deal. It's not that good a weapon, and I have tons of them, but... yeah, I probably shouldn't be worrying about. There you are. Hey, Insane Spork, how's it going? We have used the sirens. We came to the discovery that the sirens actually wear out, and they didn't last that particularly long, and they are unrepairable in this game. I'm pretty unhappy to learn that, for the record. But it is what it is, so we're not worrying about the sirens anymore. We're just using the horn. That said, it's a really good truck, so I've been just working on repairing and upgrading it anyways. Excepting we just won't be able to use the sirens reliably. I'm doing well. We are wiping out a lot of zombies. Making a lot of progress, about hit to 39,000 zombie kills this run. We're on the last block of Riverside. Before Riverside, we've cleared out all the zombies. We'll still ride around, honk our horn, do a bunch of stuff, drag out anything that's hiding indoors, whatnot. We are getting to the point where we're expecting to not see a whole lot of action after this street. This street's probably going to be pretty rough, honestly. I want to say this is one of the higher pop areas of Riverside. Because, like, I think it's that main part of downtown. Kind of not fully on the east end, but east-ish. So, like, around Enigma Bookstore, that kind of area. Is one place that's super dense with zombies. Then you have the school. And then this street over here on the right are the areas I always think of as being particularly dense in this town. I've been playing Project Zomboid for, I think we're coming up on 1100 hours? Somewhere abouts there. This specific one, I don't know where I can find out how long I played so far as like actual hours, but we are 9 months, 6 days in, which is quite a bit of time actually. We are on to just the default, the 1 hour days. What do I think about the future dev plans? I think they're good, and I have a lot of faith in these devs. They've done a really good job about these things. I do worry it will change the feel of the game, but I don't think it'll make it a bad game or anything. I just feel like it'll may make it feel less like the lone survivor kind of thing. Oh, if you think this is a lot of dead zombies. There's been a couple days that when I say you could barely make out little spots of the road under all the corpses, I'm not exaggerating that. Like, you would go on the road and it would be just so littered with zombie bodies, you just see this occasional patch of gray in there. Like, I think the biggest one is probably an in-game month ago, so like 2-3 streams ago so far as Project Zomboid goes. We had downtown Riverside was just solid with bodies. Like, we actually almost died of fever caused by the bodies, not by like injury or poisoned food or anything. Just being around so many corpses about killed us. I think we got about 10% health before I got the fever under control. Which was ripping off our clothes, shoving as much ice cream in our mouth as possible while trying to walk away from the bodies as fast as we could. But yeah, and it's one of those things like, if it was a dev team who didn't have a great reputation so far as making a wonderful game, I would be very worried about it, the direction they're going. But the dev team has had a good reputation about not releasing stuff in a state that doesn't feel good. Like, they're very much it'll be done when it's done kind of group, which I think is the better approach versus we're going to dump this out and figure it out later. Like, there's so many early access games who dump half-baked features and then it makes the game terrible for a while and then they have to circle back and fix it. I'm a much bigger fan of it's done when it's done. Like, I like Terraria's approach to updates where you wouldn't hear anything forever. And then, like, the last month of dev, they'd be like, hey, we got this big feature coming, check it. And then everyone losing their minds. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, we definitely get worse than this. Not that this isn't, like, compared to a normal run in Project Zomboid, this is a pretty high density of bodies, but compared to what we've dealt with in this one run already. This is this wouldn't even make the top 20 list of concentration of bodies we've left behind us. Like, I'd say the most we've left was downtown Riverside. Got to the point that was the densest we've seen. Then it'd be the Riverside Country Club. Like, we were doing clearing directly in the front door. Yeah, Terraria, it's like, this is the last update. We swear, we promise, we're never making more. You know, 6 months to a year later. By the way, here is this, you know, update that is going to increase the total content of the game by, like, you know, double. And then you're sitting there thinking, I know how long updates make, like, as a dev, I know how long it takes to make that kind of an update, and you're all liars. You said you weren't going to make another update, and you went immediately from doing that and started busting your butt, making your next update. I think as they say, alright, we're done, we're burned out, we don't want to dev anymore, and then they get that next paycheck, and they go, okay, maybe we do. This pays well. Maybe we do want to make more of this. That said, I think Journey's End is probably legitimately the actual end for Terraria as we know it, so far as major updates go. Because honestly, they've been making that game for, what is it, like 12, 14 years or something like that? I don't remember how long it's been. I mean, it was, XNA was still around and supported and in development when they made that game. And XNA was mothballed by Microsoft like 10 years ago itself, like 2004 or 2007 or something like that. Which was a shame. Microsoft could have actually had one of the most popular gaming frameworks, but they're just like, no, we're just not going to keep going it. Which, for the record, monogame is what XNA became. Gotcha. Well, if zombie games aren't our thing, we will be doing RimWorld Sunday and Monday. We do more projects, or we will have more Project Zomboid up tomorrow. Not that I saw Burning Sun. I haven't been watching, but I do know they said they were going to release Journey's End, and that was going to be the last major content update. Not that it wouldn't be like bug fixes and that kind of stuff, like that'd still probably happen. That said, I've also seen times where they'll say like, this is the last update, oh by the way, like we're partnering with Dungeon Defenders, and we're going to add some Dungeon Defender thing in our game, and they're going to add some Terraria thing in their game. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that crops up. But I am curious what they do, Relogic, that is the company, what they do is their like next game delved by their team that made Terraria. And it could be they just retire because, I mean, they've been at this for 10, 15 years. Gotcha, that one surprised me. Usually those are like small content updates where it's just like, okay, we added this like one new gimmick. Like Dungeon Defenders, like that thing is kind of fun, but it's like ultimately it's like, okay, monsters walk from this portal at this thing, you kill them, they try and kill you. We've added like only like 10 new monsters tops, so it's not like you got a whole bunch of new ore items and all that. It's like they gave you a handful of items and then a bunch of that. Still, I did very much appreciate that update, and I do find the Dungeon Defenders content very amusing. But like, I remember they had, what was it, Terraria 2 and Terraria Otherworld and all that. Oh yeah, Don't Starve. I remember reading about that. I never heard what happened with it though. I feel like for a Don't Starve update, or like mode, I would want them to have darkness on the edges of the map you had to be away from. Gotcha. Like how, any idea how meaningful the update is? So far as like the Don't Starve content, is it just like an item or two, or is there like an actual thing? Yeah, so that's what I thought, is there'd be a thing that I'm sure it's you use an item to trigger it or turn it on or whatever. And that darkness itself is in itself dangerous for you. Hey, little Manic, it's going good. Yep, I have been doing the webcam lately. And not paying attention to my stamina as I push myself into moderately exerted, but that's okay. That's only happened like half a dozen times today, and happens almost every stream. We manage. Gotcha, so it's only unique world seeds? That's a little bit of a bummer. That said, I do think that'd be an interesting like challenge mode, like Fear the Darkness, where you have to run around with torches or whatever. So it's funny, I think we have 15 fire axes back home at this point. Because legitimately, axes are one of... If I ever had to sit there and go one type of weapon is my least favorite, it would be axes, just because of the stamina usage. Like, they wreck face, they wreck house. I'll be clear, they're good. But the stamina usage is a deal breaker for me. I will show my skills as soon as I get this group of zombies under control. Just because where I've been putting my skills so people can see them is above where my webcam is on the right. And that's the direction the zombies are coming from. So I would like to be able to see where the zombies are coming from. New boss, always good. For those who have played Terraria and never modded it, there's a mod called the Calamity mod. I very much recommend it. Some of the music in that mod are some of the best music I've heard in gaming. Like the glowing mushroom boss they have. Amazing music. But Calamity mod just absolutely blows it up. Sadly for that, you do have to do the Tmodder install. Okay, so let me bring up the skills. I'm going to drag them over here real fast. So yeah, we're up to 6.5 fitness, 7.5 strength, nimble 5. Most of our combat skills are at about 7, give or take. Maintenance is about to hit 8. Well, it's getting close to hit. I think about is being too generous. Close to hitting 8. We've maxed out tailoring and carpentry. Our cooking is about to max out. Farming is about to hit 8. Both our metalworking and mechanics are at 5. Electrical at 4. Aiming is at 5 and reload at 4. That's actually been that way for like 8 in-game months. Very early on, we went on one shotgun rampage. We used the pistols like once or twice. Maybe got a total of 1,000 gun kills this entire playthrough. And that's just been staying that way this whole time. And then our survival skills are mostly crap because we haven't really done anything with them until after we finished winter. So those are the skills we're at. And let me check and catch up with chat real fast. Yeah, now Elgas was like, Fire Axe, yeah. And then I mentioned, it's like, I think at 50 is like, well, now you have 16. Fair. I'm probably going to need all those. Let me make sure I'm clear of zombies for a second. Cool. Because one of the places we're going to be clearing is way down here is the Redacted. That's hidden away from Rosewood. And at some point I am going to be clearing Redacted. But I got this big gross dirt road the whole way there, which is going to be completely overrun by trees. So I'm going to use a lot of axes to reach this place. Because sure as hell I'm not walking through all those trees. Honestly, other than Louisville, this part scares me the most. This dirt road scares me more than anything else other than Louisville. So this is going to be one of the last things we do. Yeah, this whole thing is going to be basically like wading through a forest. Would it be easier to just beeline from the main road north instead of going down the dirt road? You know, you're probably not wrong. Assuming I can correctly judge how far to go, yeah. You're probably not wrong. Like, the entrance is here, so it'd probably come down this way. Alright. And actually, to add on to that, where you're like, hey, with that much fitness and strength, like, how don't you tap out? The build I actually use, we refer to as Zero to Hero. I start as weak, obese, unfit, and slow healer. So I start with 0 fitness, 0 strength. But yeah, kind of my trick is, and I've got a reputation as, like, people are calling me Mr. Shortblade or all sorts of stuff now, which I find very amusing, because I actually do use a range, like, I mean, you look at my skills, all my weapons, other than, like, spears and axes, are pretty high. And that's because spears I only use what I find and they don't last long, and then axes I don't use much. But yeah, we use short blades a lot because they use negligible amounts of stamina. So yeah. Yep, that is their primary drawback, is spears have, like, no durability. Their attack speed is great, their range is great, their damage is great, their durability is abysmal. But if you get enough carpentry skill for when you make them, as well as enough maintenance skill, they do absolutely wreck. Like, they are, without the durability consideration, they would be hard meta. But with the durability, they are, like, strong competitor for meta. Like, I don't believe there's a type of weapon that's like, hands down, this is the good, best weapon in the game, because they all kind of have their place. Like, short blades, people be like, oh, but the damage isn't there and its range is crap. My response, though, is, have you been able to fight your way through 500 zombies without going full-on exerted? I know I have. And, like, we're already at the point we pretty reliably 2-shot, sometimes 3-shot zombies, so when I get up to 9 and 10 short blade, we will be 1 and 2 tapping zombies very consistently with hunting knife. And for that short blade comment, the meat cleaver is an exception. It actually does use pretty decent stamina, but all the other short blades don't use hardly any stamina. Let's see. It's always nice when you get a great soundtrack with a game you like or playing. Yes, Terraria soundtrack is amazing. The mod soundtrack, the Calamity mod soundtrack is amazing. Project Zomboid soundtrack is not shabby either. I only don't turn it on because I've heard it a lot. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it was funny. Earlier we had someone going, "That's so many bodies." I'm like, you don't know. You haven't seen the things we've seen. We've looked death in the eyes and told it to peace out. Gotcha. Yeah, I never had a problem with the one. The one thing that will bother me is sometimes when it's like goes to the things are dangerous kind of soundtrack, the one that's like, oh, you're supposedly fighting a whole bunch of zombies. There's been a few times where that soundtrack would come on and I'm like, there's no zombies. Like, we just finished killing the group that you're like trying to get me all pumped about. And so now you're walking around with no zombies and the soundtrack that's just like, game on, good luck. It's the whole, there's a, one way I've heard people explain anxiety, people who deal with anxiety, is that's like, imagine you're playing a game where death is real, you only get one life, and then the boss track starts playing, but you don't see the boss. That's what anxiety feels like. Like, you're just sitting there waiting any moment for your death to approach and for everything to be over. But, you know, it's not showing up, it's just not there. Alright, we got a whole bunch of zombies coming from around the fence. They saw us through the fence. They figured their way around, that's fine. Some more zombies is gonna have to kill anyways. Whether I kill them now or later is just a thing of time. But the plan for the moment is we are trying to clear the zombies off this street. Once you've successfully done that, I'm going to park the car about halfway up the street and start blasting the horn. And we'll kill anything that shows up until nothing meaningful shows up. Like, we'll always have some zombies show up. When it starts getting down to like 2, 3, 4, and 5, then we'll declare that area clear. We'll start just trekking around town, blasting the horn, seeing what shakes out, until we don't really see a whole lot of zombies. Insane Spork says, one of my favorite game soundtracks is a game called Sexy Brutale. One of my favorite games. Hi, Crawler. I hate you guys. Luckily, usually if you're just walking, you walk fast and they can grab you. Not that I would recommend testing it. But they're hard to see sometimes. Another thing that helps you with being calm in this game is a couple of realizations, like one, that you walk fast in the zombies. Just, oh no, it's a zombie, bye! So, you can just walk away from your problems. Another thing is once you get to like Nimble 2, oh no, you can get me, I promise, you can do it, I believe in you, aww. So yeah, once you start realizing that you can just get away from a lot of stuff, that you're not in as much danger as you think you're in, it really helps you keep calm. Because the things that do get you in trouble is when you panic. So, you know, you panic and you go, oh no, and you try and turn and run away at a time. You should just keep backing up, keep fighting. You know, that gets you killed. Oh, and also when you reach Nimble 5, hey look, I nimble faster than they go. Actually, this one's kind of keeping up. But either way, I can basically ditch this zombie with Nimble. I think that's a fast shambler. But yeah, you very quickly learn like the things that are actually dangerous for you and the things that just look like they're dangerous from you. Zombies from the side and back are actually dangerous, like super dangerous to you. Doors and corners are super dangerous to you. Like those are the things that get you killed. Cars in general are super dangerous to you. Hey, zombie. Trees. Trees are the real enemy. Trees are everything that is bad and horrible in the world of Project Zomboid. But like lone zombie here, unless I go run up for a hug, not really that big of a threat once you learn to deal with them. Like part of that is just always backing up immediately when you go to swing. Even if you feel comfortable, you should back up. And I'm terrible with that advice. You'll see me just throw myself into the zombies quite regularly. It's a bad habit. Don't do it. Because if I miss my swing, now where I could normally just nimble out of the way in seconds, I'm moving into them instead of away from them, and then you die. You'll also see me like kind of flank sideways and hit them. That's also dangerous and I shouldn't be doing it, but it's a habit I've developed and I shouldn't have. It looks awesome. It makes it so I kill zombies faster, but you know. It also, like when you miss like that, it gets you killed. Luckily there's more than enough away to not get in any serious trouble. Alright, so there's a lot of zombies outside the fence here. Wait, machete? Hold up. You don't just not have a machete I can see. That's not cool. Like I genuinely think we probably had a bunch of machetes drop that I've just not seen. Because they're easy to miss because they look so much like bread knives. They just get in kind of autopilot and you just overlook them. Oh yeah, zombies just want to hug with their teeth. It's not they have ill will, they're just really bad at showing, you know, showing love and compassion in a non-teeth related way. They also don't particularly understand the concept of consent, and it is a real problem and they need to figure it out, because that's a them problem. But you know, it is what it is. Another thing that helps is you'll find most of the time I will back up over areas I've already cleared. That's generally the way you want to, unless you very specifically have a reason not to. That's just because that's the way you know you've cleared. It's less likely to have zombies to cause you problems. Not that it won't, it's just less likely. Versus if you're backing up into an area you have no idea if it's been cleared, that's how you just back yourself up into 20 zombies without any chance to react. And the one here in the white shirt had a nightstick for me. I'll keep using the metal bar till it breaks. It's just about to break. We'll use it, break that, whip out that machete, and get some work done. Because that machete is just going to start wiping out zombies. We are getting pretty close to tired, so it doesn't look like we're going to do our horn honking nonsense today. I actually probably should take a moment to make sure I got one of these houses clear for us to sleep in. That one's missing its door, so let's not do that. Shouldn't have gone through the tree. I'm pretty sure that one has zombies inside. Yeah, there's a zombie in the garage there. And I just leave them to just figure that out. This kind of marathon run, you don't want to take any risks, you don't have to. It's just not what you should do. So it comes to like going into houses and all that. You try to avoid as much as possible. Nope. This is your place. I am not tangling with a whole bunch of zombies indoors. I'm just looking for a nice garage that I can plop my butt down in my car, and sleep the night away. It will end up killing all them. What'll happen is when I start honking my horn a whole bunch, it'll draw them out to us, and then I'll just kill them outside versus dealing with corners and blind spots and all that stuff, you know, getting caught on furniture. All those easy to make little mistakes that get you killed. So basically I'm looking for a garage with the inside and outside door intact. Okay, there's at least two banging on that door. And before I forget, these need to come with me. And we'll back off, we'll get the zombies a minute. We shoved the house door a couple times. That zombie jumped off the second roof and tried to just drop on us. That can actually get you killed pretty easily too. I've been killed by a character where a zombie dropped on me while I was on a stairwell. Saw the tree move, let's make sure it's just wind, okay. Yeah, they don't do it very often. A lot of times they'll break the upstairs window, but they won't actually jump down. Thank you for the follow, Dr. Bubbles96. Welcome to the stream. Now we're going to try and fit this big truck in here. This one won't be too bad, because a lot of times I have shelves and boxes in the back, and that can be rough. And I'm not going to bother going through and trying to deal with all the zombies in here. We're just going to fast forward. That way we can sleep through the night, hopefully. We may not, because of all them making noises in the same building. Your character can panic because of that. But that's fine. Anyways, it's sleepy time. Yep, we did wake up in a panic, so we didn't get a full night's rest. That's fine. I have a way of dealing with this. I will just take some sleepy time pills. And go back to sleep.